So today I want to share with you a tiny little habit, a tiny life experiment that if you practice it regularly, consistently, it's going to enable you to build your self-confidence. And all of us could use a little help there, right? And feeling more confident. And the great thing is about the key of making this work is that we're going to tie it with a habit that you already do, that you've been practicing probably all your life. So this is going to be a mashup of an existing habit that you have and building confidence. You're going to see how this works here in just a second. So we're going to describe what this habit is, why it works so well, why it matters, and then how to use it, and then a roadblock that you might run into in practicing and how to overcome that. So what is this habit? I call it bold words, bold you. And so what is this concept? It really comes down to build your confidence by reading out loud every day. Something inspirational, positive, and powerful. I told you it was easy. Very simple. You know how to read already, and it's something you practice on a consistent basis probably, but more than likely you read in your mind, in your head. And the idea of reading out loud might be something that you haven't done in a long time, or maybe you don't ever really do it. And so let's talk about why this tiny little habit of reading out loud can actually build your confidence. And the first point that you'll see there is that reading something out loud puts you in a confident, powerful state. You've likely heard the term finding my voice. And this is a term that's often used in just recording videos. You know, I'll record one video or another video and another, and eventually you're going to find your voice. And that voice is your confidence. When you use your voice, when you express things out loud, there is an energy, a confidence to doing that. But sometimes we resist doing that because we don't think we have anything to say. But when you read something out loud, something that somebody else has written, you have words to say. It's just translating those into energy and confidence as you read them. And I'm going to give you a demo of how that works here in just a second. And as it mentions here, repeatedly practicing this reshapes your thinking and emotions, and it boosts your confidence. The more that you read out loud, and the way that you do it, which I'm going to describe here in a second, is going to boost your confidence. You're going to feel a shift, a change in how you feel when you do this consistently. Read out loud. All right? So, how do you do it? Every day, find an article, a chapter, a section in a book, or a short story. So there's plenty of that out there. You probably have your own favorite books, maybe your own favorite authors. There might be an article that you found, just something that's very inspirational, very motivational perhaps, but it doesn't have to be that, but you're going to probably get your best results if it is that. Reading anything out loud is going to have a positive impact on your self-confidence. So it's the act of reading and getting into it. And that's the second point here, is read it out loud with emotions, gestures, and facial expressions like you're inspiring others. So you're not going to just read it and say, okay, build your confidence by reading out loud every day. No, you're going to get into it. You're going to use gestures. You're going to use facial expressions. You're going to smile. You're going to have emotion and motion in your delivery. And of course, you'll probably want to do this in private. That's fine. But maybe you will inspire others if they see you practicing it. But that's the idea. Now, let me give you an example of how this might work. Okay, so I have a book that I got many, many decades ago, Awaken the Giant by Tony Robbins, or back then it was Anthony Robbins. And I'm just going to read a section out of this book called Raise Your Standards to give you an idea of what I'm talking about in practicing this and how it can make a difference, okay? So let me just get into it. And it says here, anytime you sincerely want to make a change, the first thing you must do is raise your standards. When people ask me what really changed my life 8 years ago, I tell them that absolutely the most important thing was changing what I demanded of myself. I wrote down all the things that I could no longer accept in my life, all the things I would no longer tolerate, and all the things that I aspired to becoming. Now I'm telling you, if you pick something like that and read it out loud with emotion and feeling on a regular basis, it's going to build your confidence. Now, what's a roadblock? There's a roadblock to doing this, and that is finding inspirational material to read. Where do you find this? Well, again, I just picked up one of my favorite books and read right out of it. It doesn't have to be too complicated. Don't complicate this practice. Just find something that you enjoy, that you read, and it doesn't have to be Anthony Robbins. It doesn't have to be, like a charged up article or anything. That would be great, but it doesn't have to be. But here's a solution if you're having trouble finding something. Search YouTube for motivational speech, find a video, and read the transcript. There are tons of videos on YouTube that are motivational videos, and they all have written transcripts. That's a great place to start. Find those, read those out loud, and it doesn't have to be a long practice. 1 or 2 minutes a day. And you'll probably find that as you start practicing it, you're going to enjoy it even more and maybe extend that practice time. But get into it, okay? Really feel the words that you're saying and move and use motion. And you're going to find that this is going to build your self-confidence in ways that you probably never imagined. So try it. I think you'll really find an amazing habit to practice. All right, well, if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate you liking it, sharing it, and if you have a comment on maybe a great source of motivational material, leave it down below in the comments, or if you're using this or have used it, how are you doing that? What results are you getting? All right, love to hear it. And hope you have an amazing day.